Speaking of OnlyFans, I once had a borrower who didn't have enough money for a down payment, but when he provided me his bank statements, he had like 72 OnlyFans withdrawals from his bank statement.
Wow. Yeah.
So the OnlyFans was more important than the roof over his head.
Freshly back from vacation. I wouldn't know if it's fresh, but I'm back from vacation. Need a vacation from my vacation.
It's always like that. It's like you need another couple days just to.
Coolest part of LEJ, Georgia is
LEJ. Is that a person?
LEJ, Georgia, is that the
It's a
deer come up to the house, and unlike the Keys, you can feed the deer and it's not illegal. So,
is this like when you forgot to go to the store? You could
babies.
But
they were little babies. There were 3 little babies, and they ran behind them. Oh my gosh, they were so cute. I can move to LEJ.
LEJ, Georgia.
But since I'm here in Fort Myers, Florida, with you today,
what are we here to talk about today, Deanna?
We're going to talk about the 5 things that 5 mistakes, big mistakes that people make in mortgage, and I think we're going to go as far as to share like stories of like outcomes with people that have done some of these things. So the first one that stands out to me is not having their paperwork ready. So it causes a delay. So they don't get their pre-approval. They go under contract without a pre-approval, and then you're scrambling, right?
And you know what I hear most of the time? It's, I sold my house up north, so I've packed everything into these boxes, and it's in a storage container in LEJ, Georgia. Right? So how do I get you XYZ, Vito? Well, I don't know, but I need, W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, a photo ID in order to fund your mortgage loan.
Yeah, that's what that happens a lot. Oh, it's in the back of my storage unit. So
time to start digging.
Yeah. So if you're planning on selling your home and moving, before you pack up the stuff,
make a file folder of what you think might be important.
Which goes back to what we talked a few episodes back about having a Dropbox or a Google Drive where you save all of that stuff so it's easily accessible from your phone. Vito doesn't like that idea, but I love that idea.
Let me tell you what's happening here is Deanna is an older person and she's trying to be younger, so she's bringing in this technology stuff.
No, the technology stuff
works.
Got
a Dropbox folder for their documents.
I think it's a great way to save your documents.
I've got pictures of them on my cell phone.
If you're of the younger generation, younger than Vito, you might want to look at opening up a Dropbox or a Google Drive to store all of your documents for your home purchase, and even further after you own your home, you can put your insurance in there.
Easily accessible.
Easily accessible, yes, sir. Right. So number 2, here's
my favorite.
Oh yeah, I've got a story for this one.
Hey Vito, so I know I'm closing tomorrow, but my first day at my new job is also tomorrow. How long's the closing gonna take? What?
Number 2, so to be clear, is quitting, changing, or accepting a new job without first talking to your loan officer. Because
during the mortgage
process. Also getting fired. This is a crazy one. I had a borrower, this is several years ago, who 2 days before closing called me and said, I don't know if this is going to affect my mortgage, but I just got let go today. And that was a problem. Now, luckily, we were able to solve. He was very employable. So he secured a new job. We had to get a delay. It was a small delay in the contract. Mm-hmm. But then we were able to give the offer letter,
re-underwrite the
loan, and we were able to save it. But quitting your job in the middle of a mortgage transaction is no bueno.
Maybe even if you're going to buy a home like in the near future, maybe not even quit your job before you buy a home. Just be like, I'm going to work this out, see if this can happen, and buy your home and then make decisions after the fact.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And so then number 3, that sense of urgency. And so we were talking about this before we started recording, you're going in, you're getting your mortgage. Typically it's a 30-day contract, and you come in and you're like, oh, well, we're going to be on vacation for 3 weeks of the, 4-week contract.
Or I have 30 days. I will get the paperwork to you, next week in February. Right. So it's just like, if you go under contract, if you're buying a home and your loan originator, whether it's me or Deanna or anyone, asks you for a document, like my goal would be to have that document to them immediately or within the same day, or with like the longest time would be 24 hours.
Well, I think that the misnomer for people, or what they think happens, is I give you my bank statement.
A misnomer.
Misnomer, yes. I have big words.
Yeah.
But they give you the bank statement and you think that the problem is solved for. And I think to understand the mortgage process behind the scenes lends itself to being able to understand why you need to act more urgently. So just because you hand your loan officer the bank statement, it doesn't stop there. Then it has to go to the processor, who then gets it to the underwriter, and then the underwriter has to review it. And each one of those departments has what I like to call lines like Disney World.
Yep.
So you have to wait your turn to have that document reviewed. So getting the documents in quickly and having that sense of urgency is important.
Not only that bank statement might bring another question out. So the quicker we can get that in front of the person who approves it, the quicker we can get all of those questions answered.
Correct.
Like, let's say a direct transfer to an ex-wife. Like, oh my gosh, you're divorced. Well, now we need a divorce decree. And then we start the little line process over again, right? So the quicker you can get us the documents, the quicker we can get your loan clear to close, the less stress will be in your transaction.
Absolutely. So having things put together for your loan officer. So you're going to need, we talked about this on an episode a while back, you're going to need a bank statement or two.
Yep.
Showing funds to close. You're going to need a pay stub, a W-2. If you've been divorced,
Divorce decree.
a divorce decree, child support order, if that applies, right? And then the big thing is owning other properties. So if you own other properties, you need to put together the documentation for
mortgage
those.
statements, tax bills, insurance bills, a signed and dated letter of explanation for the HOA.
Yeah.
And that's if you have one or don't. Right?
What's an HOA?
It's a homeowners association.
Oh.
Don't park on my grass.
I won't. Don't worry. I don't park well anyway.
Yeah.
So that's number 3 on our list. Number 4, which is one of my faves, is hey, I want to get my new refrigerator for my house, and I'm going to go out and Lowe's is giving me 10% off if I apply for a credit card. So not only did what did I do?
You pulled your credit. So now there's possibility of new debt.
Yeah.
So now we rather need a letter of explanation saying you weren't granted the credit, signed and dated, or we need a bill showing what the balance is and what the payment's going to be. And that new payment might dramatically
affect your
approval.
Yeah.
So,
or how about, hey, they were having this great deal at Toyota and I went and traded in my car.
Oh, I bought a brand new 4Runner and the payment's $848 a month.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, but we approved you with a $300 a month car payment.
So I've literally, and this might not be nice to me, but I've asked someone if they are comfortable living in their car because that new car is ruined. Like, they can no longer buy the house. The new car payment has ruined their loan approval.
So the best path forward when you're buying your home and you're under contract, you're going through the process, is if you're thinking about making a new purchase, don't.
Right.
And if you absolutely have to, because it's an emergency,
talk to your loan originator.
Talk to your loan originator. Make sure that you're making the right decision for your family so you can get them into their home.
Absolutely.
And then number 5 on our list is...
It's easy. It's large deposits.
What's a large deposit?
Let's just call it a deposit. I mean, I don't even call it a large. Let's call it a deposit. It's if you were taking cash that's undocumented, I don't care how you got it, it's in your pillow, it's in your safe, it's underneath a floorboard, and you were putting it into a bank. Even if grandma gave you $100, cash is bad in a mortgage transaction.
I thought cash was king.
Well, it is, but in a mortgage transaction, like let's say you need a down payment of $10,000 or whatever the number is, it doesn't really matter. And you're like, well, I have that, it's in my safe. And how many people have sent you pictures of we need to prove your funds to close, right? And then I get a cell phone picture of like stacks of $100 bills. He's like, here's my funds to close. Have you had that?
I've actually had them upload them into Encompass.
Or like, pictures of silver or gold. Yeah. All right. So how do we document cash?
We can't.
Right. So if you're buying a house or you think you're buying a house, sooner or later, you should get that cash into the financial system in a legal manner, depositing in it and explaining it out. Right.
So why are we so particular about?
I think it's a Patriot Act in funding terrorism. Yeah, we have to document all funds used for a mortgage transaction. So there's lots of legal ways around it, right? So one, your mom might be giving you a gift, right? And we can go down that road and show you how to legally accept a gift and prove she's had the ability to give a gift, right? Two, you might have a 401k or a retirement plan that you could take the funds from.
But we're definitely not going to take 10,000 out of the safe and put it into the account.
But even to go a little further on this, let's just say you have 3 accounts and each account has a certain amount of money on it and you want it all to be in one account so it's nice and pretty, right? If you move the money, you're just creating more paperwork for yourself. It's okay. We're just going to ask you for more documents. Oh, no big balance transfers or anything like that. Let's keep it easy. If the money's in 3 accounts, provide 2 months of the 3 account statements. We'll show that to the underwriter, sign off on it, and then you can move the money to the title company after the underwriter has cleared your loan to close.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And just because your loan is clear to close doesn't mean you can go buy a boat or a car.
No boats?
No boats, no cars. Because why?
Did you just say no boats?
Listen, so your loan's clear to close. Like, I'm clear to close, yay, right? But they're still monitoring stuff. So if you go to Rooms to Go and buy $42,000 in furniture.
But wait. Rooms to Go and $42,000.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is there is procedures working in the background that are monitoring your credit reports while you're doing a mortgage transaction. And most of the mortgage lenders are alerted the minute your credit is pulled during a mortgage transaction. UDN. Undisclosed Debt Monitoring. So the reason for this was back in 2005, individuals would apply to multiple lenders. Mm-hmm. Not for the same home.
No, for separate.
They were buying 10 homes. They were all going to be primary residences. Yep. They would close them all on the same day, and none of the lenders would know about each other. Right? A lot of people did this. So now the UDN alerts the lender, hey, Mary Jane. Maybe that's not her name.
Why did she have to be Mary Jane?
I don't know. Hey, Bob Smith has applied for.
That's an appliance store.
Okay. Well, Bob Smith has applied for a loan with ABC Bank. So now we've got to, okay, Bob, you applied for a loan with ABC Bank. What are you doing? Well, my car broke down and I'm buying a Porsche. Well, now that we know that your car broke down, we know you need a new car. Do you now qualify for your loan with a new car payment?
No.
Maybe, but we've got to now go through the paperwork and document what the new car payment is.
And sometimes that's hard to do, because it's a new debt. And it's not on your credit report yet. And there might only be preliminary paperwork that you have handy. Mm-hmm. And they have to, the lender of the car loan has to get it in their system to be able to generate documents.
It's delays. I heard delays.
So a lot of delays when we don't follow the instruction of our loan officer.
So just don't do it. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. Don't do it. All right. Don't even have the intentions of doing it, because you have the intentions of doing it and you tell us, then we know about it and we have to disclose it legally. Mm-hmm. All right.
So those were our top 5 things that we see go wrong in a mortgage transaction that could cause delays or potentially maybe get you your loan, denied, which is something that we don't want to do. So number one thing is when you're getting ready to buy your first home, second home, whatever, is to get your paperwork in order. Make sure you have everything put together. Number 2, we reach out to a reputable lender and make sure that you get that pre-approval in hand. And then those extra things of not depositing cash, not changing jobs, not buying any new large purchases.
Ferrari.
No Ferraris. Okay. Maybe a Tesla.
Yeah, because you can offset the gas payment with energy. All right.